What's good? This your big homie Kev from LuxuryLoops.com. I work with Tank, Chris Brown, Rodney Jerkins, Faith Evans. I worked on, over 580 television shows such as Keeping Up with Kardashians, Love and Hip Hop. A lot of successful music production companies. I live off my music, multiple streams of income in music, and I'm helping thousands of music producers around the world take their music production to the next level. Now that's an introduction if you've never seen any of my videos before. Now in this video I want to talk about what or how to stop embarrassing yourself. Now what do I mean by embarrassing yourself? When you try, and producers are doing this every day, all day, every year, every month. When you try to sell beats, put a beat site out, go through all of the trouble to put a beat site out and do all of these things and try to sell beats that are not ready, that's embarrassing. When you try to you go and you get everything that you think you need as far as sounds or as far as equipment, and then you try to get your music placed with a major artist and your music is not ready, that's embarrassing. When you try to get TV placement, send your music off just to make money, period, with your music, and they don't respond, that's embarrassing. And I want to show you how to stop embarrassing yourself. There's too many producers out there embarrassing themselves because we're only in the studio by ourselves. So we don't know exactly what to do to get better. We do what we think we need to do to get better, but we don't know exactly what it is that'll make us get better. Now there's two things that you can have or do that will make you not just better, but better than everybody else. In fact, it'll make you stand out. The first thing is you gotta make sure that something stands out about your music. Now, I choose to always have my drums stand out. And think about it. Since the drums is the most important part of your beat, why wouldn't you have your drums be the thing that stand out in your beats? And see, the thing is a lot of music producers try to sell beats, and that don't work. So what's the first thing we all do? We go right to selling drum kits and loops and all of that kind of stuff. And then that don't work, and then we left frustrated trying to figure this thing out all over again. But the funny thing is in that, every music producer gives away the same sounds. Because it's crazy. I go out and I buy drum kits all the time. And I end up getting the same sounds in 3 or 4 packs that I've gotten. And when I buy a new one and I think it's something different, it's the same thing over and over. And I'm going to prove it to you. How many times have you heard this kick and this snare? Every producer in the world has this kick. Now, every producer in the world has this snare. How many times can you buy this snare? Like that combination right there, that's Bryson Tiller's combination, that's the Migos combination, that's everybody in the music industry's combination. And if every music producer is fighting for the same spot, doing the same thing, making the same music, how do you get recognized out of the bunch of the other billion music producers doing the same thing? You don't. You just end up being in a box. You end up, and we all know what that feels like, right? To just be stuck. It's like quicksand. Everything you do to try to pull yourself out, you keep going lower. And you keep going lower. And I want to show you how to escape that. Now that's the first thing. You got to have something exclusive about your music. Preferably the drums. Because the drums is the most important part of your beat. Now, 2, you have to you have to create your own sound. You have to sound different than everybody else. If everybody else is making trap music, you got to go a different way. Because, the only thing that can happen when you do what everybody else is doing is you blend in. And anything that blends in, I don't know about you, but I've never wanted to blend in any situation, right? I've never been that type of person to want to blend in. I don't want to blend in. I want to stand out. Because if I stand out on my own, more artists, more situations are going to gravitate toward my sound because it doesn't sound like something that they can get from everybody else. Now, how do you do that? By having something exclusive about your music, which is, again, I prefer to use the drums. Now, let's think about this. Let's talk about this again, right? Now, buying 5 or 6 or 7 different drum packs just like this, right? Using these same drum sounds. What you can only make one of two genres. Trap or trap soul, right? And I mean, and I know, you know, that is fun to make. I know it is, but even like there's no way you could use these drums and sound any different than any other music producer. Now, think about this. What if you had these drums? Now, compared to this kick, the same kick that every producer sells in their drum kits, or an exclusive kick. What's going to make you stand out? Now, what about the snare? The same snare that we all get. And what about this snare? Listen to that in comparison. It doesn't even compare, right? Now, when you're using the drums that everybody else use, you're limited. You know, you can't really stretch. You can't really go outside of that genre that those drums are created for. You have to create that genre of music. And see, there's so many new producers being born every day that's coming in doing what? Getting the same drums, getting the same sounds that everybody else is getting, creating the same genre, and just filling this pot full of trap beats. Filling it full of the same trap soul stuff. Filling it full of the same stuff that we've been hearing for a while. And it's like, who's going to be the innovator? Who's going to be the person to stand out, to create something different, not follow what everybody else is doing? So basically what I'm going to do is I know what I'm going to create if I use those drums. So I'm going to create something different using these. I'm going to create a different genre. I don't want to create anything trap, but I want to create something like pop. And I'm going to use these drums and see what happens real quick. Real quick. Four chords. Okay, so I want to have those 4 chords. Actually, let me bring them up some. I wanted that lower. There we go. Let me add my hi-hats first. Add the rest of my stuff. I like that little effect in there. Let me add that. So now I got the basics of my idea. Now I just need to add a few different parts, and then it will be like, then I'll have my template. But as you can notice, it sounds fat already, and it's just drums and piano. And again, the whole idea here is I don't want to create the same genre. I don't want to, I'm a music producer. I want to create music. I want to go for this opportunity, that opportunity, every opportunity. I don't want to just be in a box. And that's what's, hurting music producers these days. Like, producers are in a box because they're using and doing the same things over and over and over again. And when it comes to their drums sound the same as everybody else's. And if they don't, then they're thin. And, and thin drums, weak drums equal weak beats. Banging drums equal banging beats. But the whole point of this is, because of these drums, I wouldn't have been able to create a trap beat or a trap soul beat or an R&B beat. I mean, well, I probably would have been able to create that, but the whole thing about this is it made me and forced me to go in a different direction, and it forced me to create a different genre, which is what we really want out of our drums. We want our drums to challenge us. We want our drums to push us in a different direction. We want our drums to pull different chords and different melodies out of us that these same drums are just not able to pull out of us. Using those drums, you'll only be able to make that genre of music. So let me go and let me add a quick string part and then a bass part, and then I'm done with this beat. Then I add my bass. Now I know what you're thinking. That's just one beat, right? So I actually created another beat, but I used these drums that, these special drums that I'll tell you about in a minute. But I wanted you to hear the drum pattern that started this vibe of this beat right here. First of all, listen to the kick. Okay, where is the kick? And listen to the snare. Now let's listen to our original kick and snare that we always get, right? Versus, listen to this kick. It doesn't even compare. So I came up with this drum pattern, and then I came up with a nice little idea after that, right? And the thing I like about the kick is, again, it forced me to create something. It forced everything else that came. Let me let you hear the idea. And see, I was so inspired by that, right? And again, it came from, like, that doesn't sound like something else that's out. It sounds like me. It don't sound like nobody else. It sounds like me. And that's what you want. Now, for producers that want to know how to, because you've heard me talk about drums that we all use, right? And I created something special for you. The music producer that's looking to take his sound to a new level and be able to not just be limited to one or two genres, but to be able to have drum sounds that can inspire different genres. Because I'm telling you, when it comes to opportunities to place your music, you got to know how to do other things, man. You got to know how to do other things. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I created a brand new massive drum kit with 500 exclusive drum sounds in it that you will not find anywhere else. Now, 200 kick drums, 200, matter of fact, 200 exclusive kick drum sounds that are big, fat, they have that professional big sound already. 200 exclusive snare drums, fat, created from scratch, has that big sound already. They don't sound like anybody else's drums, and you can't get them nowhere else. 50 exclusive drum loops made from those sounds, and 50 exclusive hat loops with the tempo and everything there, so you can just add it inside of your beat and get right to work. Now, let me show you a few of these, right? Let me just go down the list. Ooh. Now let's go down the snares and see. Now these sounds will all like woo! And you will literally sound like you will sound like nobody else, no other producer, man. Let's go to another snare. Go to another kick. Woo! Not only that, let's go to the hi-hats, right? I thought it would be real cool to have, like hi-hat tempos, because a lot of producers have been asking, how do you do that? How do you program your hats like that? Well, see, with this new massive drum kit, over 500 sounds, you'll actually already have your hat tempos, and all you got to do is slide it in. Right? All you got to do is slide it in. You see the tempo is 140. All you do is slide it into your system. Regardless of what genre you use, well, not genre, but regardless of what DAW you use, because it works in Reason, Fruity Loops. These drums works in every program, machine. Anything you use, you can use these drums. So now I got the tempo 140. I can record my Now, if I wanted to keep that like that and I just wanted the 4 bars, I can copy it, I can paste it, and then I can go find one of these kicks and snares and add to it. And see, the good thing about this is it's going to inspire a new genre. You're not going to be limited. You're not going to just be in a box of creating whatever the drum sounds allow, because drum sounds have power. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. When you use weak, thin drum sounds, the melodies that you create, that's when beat block comes. You don't really know what to do. You get stuck. You kind of, that's when stuff starts sounding the same. Now, when you get trap drums, you make trap beats. You make trap soul type beats. You make the same types of beats. And since all of these kits are just compiled with the same drum sounds over and over, you're going to keep making the same genres over and over and doing the same things everybody else is doing. But when you get this new massive drum kit, you're going to have 200 exclusive drum sounds, 200 exclusive kicks, 200 exclusive snares, 50 drum loops, 50 hat loops. You see the tempo. You see how easy it is to throw it in. Now, let me let you hear a few of these drum loops. Now let's say you wanted to use that, right? You pull that in to your system. You see the tempo is 144. And see, this will also save you time on making beats. So when it comes time to create, you could stay focused on the most important part, getting that idea out. You know, how many times have you tried to match this or match that or find that, and you lose the whole vibe of the song? 144 tempo. And now, I mean, it's endless. It's endless. Like over 200 kicks, 200 snares, 50 exclusive drum loops, 50 exclusive hat loops with the tempo. Both the drum loops and the hat loops come with tempo. Now, if you want to get your hands on this exclusive new drum kit, 200 exclusive kicks, 200 exclusive snares, 50 exclusive drum loops, 50 exclusive hats with the tempo, all you got to do is click the link below and get your hands on it. Now, this is a brand new exclusive drum kit, and I can't allow every music producer to get their hands on it. So, 500 drum sounds. First of all, you're not going to find 500 exclusive nothing nowhere. Nowhere. You're not going to find 500 exclusive drum sounds anywhere that you could take that's already fat, that you could include in your music and inspire you to pull. You know, you'll be making rock, you'll be making pop, you'll be making EDM, you'll be making all of these different genres of music because the drum sounds will allow for that. You know, the drum sounds is not going to force you to just make one genre of music. They're going to force you to create all different genres of music. And that's how you stand out, and that's how you stop embarrassing yourself. If you want to get your hands on this kit, it's simple. All you got to do is click below. Again, this is an exclusive kit. 500 exclusive drum sounds you won't find anywhere else that will literally inspire you to create music in a way that you've never been able to create music before. Click below. Get your hands on this new massive drum kit. I'll see you next time. Peace.